CM is the Super Hornet.
Yeah,
Which
so
is
those are the three.
Okay.
Yeah, and then okay, we should be coming up pretty soon. Waiting for it to come up, and we'll do a sound test once it starts streaming. Okay, that'll shrink. Okay.
Disconnected.
Okay, I got rid of my TeamSpeak. The only thing it should show now is, there we go. Yeah,
Which
so
is
those are the three.
Okay.
Yeah, and then okay, we should be coming up pretty soon. Waiting for it to come up. Yeah, it sounds good. Go ahead and give me a sound bite.
Okay.
And we'll do a sound test. Did you deliberately scoot yourself down all the way to the bottom of your camera?
No. Did it suddenly do that?
Yeah, I've only got your chin. Yeah, I don't have. All I got's like your. Okay, that'll shrink. It's not centered on your head, is what I'm saying. It's
not centered?
It's shooting way over your head.
Okay, hang on. Let me. That better?
No, nothing's changed. Okay, I got
Nothing
rid of
has changed.
Now it is. Now it's changing. That's good right
Okay.
there. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Too much. Too much. Too much.
Too much? Too much?
Way too
The only
much. Thing it should show now.
Okay.
Back that up is. There we go.
It's
Yeah,
still
so
zoomed in.
those are the three. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Wait.
And
Right there.
then
Right there. Stop. Okay, we should be. That's perfect. Right there.
Should be coming up pretty soon.
Okay, I had to turn the mic off because I was hearing myself.
Yep, I was doing the same thing.
Did you deliberately scoot yourself down all the way to the bottom of your camera?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, so you sound good too.
All right.
So let us begin. Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and this is From the Verse. This is episode 4. This is part 2 of our ship review. We're going to be going over a couple of ships, and today we have joining us Paraset, and Katz doesn't look like he's going to be making it with us today, so that's okay. Now you're going to see we've got a little change of our format. We've got we're video conferencing. And we've got like a little cockpit and some background activity going on. And I think you're going to enjoy it. And now remember, this is only my 4th time broadcasting for a live stream. So, well, not a live stream, but like a podcast. So there will be, as we go along, there's always going to be improvements and changes, and hopefully they're for the best. So now, Paraset will be talking about the Hornet fighters, and I will be talking about the Freelancer. Katzline was going to be talking about the Starfarer, but he apparently couldn't make it. And so we're just going to go ahead and jump into it. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. All right, here we go. Now, my camera's all screwed up now.
Uh-oh.
That's all right. It's pointing down to my. Let me physically adjust this camera here. So, no. What did I do? I moved my camera. See, thinking I was going to improve the shot. Okay, there we go. All right. So, and how do you like it? This is our Hornet cockpit. This is the Hornet from the modern era. It's, you know, the actual FA-18 cockpit. And now, before we get started into the actual ships and start, you know, broadcasting and talking about what's going on with the ships, let's talk about a little bit about our like what's going on in real life. Like, what are we doing to prepare for Star Citizen, or, you know, just gaming in general? Like Parasite, go ahead. What are you doing?
Right now, I'm still practicing. Not as good as Hull Armor yet. Hull Armor's up to, what is it, level 12 or 13 or 15 or whatever it is. But and he's knocking stuff out of the sky right and left. And we want that from our, we definitely want that from our fighter commander. And he's, from what I understand, he's doing a really good job with that. In addition to that, we're also, you and I have also been accepting new members into our organization. The latest one, Trooper Ross.
That's true. That's true. He just joined the our Spec Ops group. He's gonna lend a hand when it comes to boarding parties and ground combat and stuff like that. That's awesome. Yeah, but let's talk about, what are you doing? other than just, you know, helping
I'm
out.
still okay. Yeah, I'm still working with the. I've still been working with the joystick.
Right.
This is my joystick, right? It's an old joystick. Okay, very old.
Okay.
But and it's wireless, which is, I don't know if that's cool or not. But and it's not as good as your system, which is,
well,
that,
you know,
working with that
of
rheostat and, you know, the latest and greatest stuff. But other than that, if I'm not working with that, I'm working with the mouse and the keyboard, which is what I've been accustomed to for a very, very long time in regard to working with targeting, especially working with the Hornet. What I have noticed is that working with the 300i trainer, it seems to be much easier for me to target and destroy the Vanduul and in those Vanduul raids. And so the Hornet, I'm noticing, is going to be, at least for me, is going to be a challenge to work with. Okay,
well, I got something to say about that here, and that's one of my topics in the future. You know, it's one of my topics that I've got already typed up here. Your 300i comes with the Omni Sky Laser 6 or something like that, right? Laser Cannon 6.
Right.
Okay, and I've noticed that, in my opinion, those two lasers or that laser cannon is way overpowered. It's like, it'll blow things away with one shot. You know, I've been watching a lot of streams and, you know, other people playing and stuff, and when they're using those Omni Sky lasers, they put their crosshair on the target, they pull the trigger, boom, they move on to the next target, right? And I'm like, what the heck? I need to get me some of them. Okay, but not at $16 a piece. So I'm not going to do that. I even considered, I said, you know, I could pledge for a 300i or a 325. I could pledge for a 325, get those Omni Sky lasers, and get a free ship with it, basically, instead of having to buy those lasers separate. You know, but so I know you've got a Hornet and a 300i. You should consider taking the lasers off of the 300i and adding them to the Hornet, because that's what I see people are doing. They're having like the chain guns either on the turret or on the wingtips, and then they put those Omni Sky cannons on the other one, you know, either the turret or the wingtips, and so you'll have chain guns and the kill. Bam. Okay, so I don't know. That's what I've been noticing. I've been kind of doing a little research, watching. I'm researching it in the fact that I'm watching and kind of evaluating what the lasers can do and what the chain guns can do, and, you know, I'm watching guys, how hard it is for them to hit their target. When they do hit, how much damage does it do? And the Omni Skies they're just devastating. They need to be nerfed. Okay, either that or they are just so powerful on purpose, you know. And if that's the case, everybody's going to have Omni Skies, you know, like super fast. What am I doing for to get ready for Star Citizen. I'm doing that. I'm evaluating the weapons from as a third party, watching. But I'm also writing a flight manual for new trainees in our unit for and anybody, because I'm gonna make these videos public for learning how to fly. Now I've just recently noticed, and I didn't mean, I'm behind the power curve, I guess, because I've seen some other people are doing some training videos out there, but they're not going to be as fun as my videos. My videos are going to be like done in fiction with a story behind it. You're going to follow the pilot from the beginning to the end, kind of like a tutorial video, But it's going to be hopefully that's what it's going to be, Another thing I've been doing lately is I've used voice attack a little bit. I've used some voice attack, and I've got a video out there of me using it, and if anybody wants to check that out, they can go check out the voice attack video. But that was the next topic. I was going to move on to like what's going on, current events in Star Citizen, and the first current event that I wanted to talk about was the voice attack craze. I mean, everybody's using voice attack. It's like you've got to make it, to be able to compete. What I've noticed using voice attack is I can adjust my power distribution in the ship a lot easier with voice attack. I could care less about targeting an enemy. I'm not going to say target next enemy or something like that. I do because I'm using voice attack, but I don't need to do that. I can press a button just as easy to do that. It's the power management, because you have like 100 buttons you have to press to get the power to move from one place to another. And instead of pressing those 100 buttons, you could just say max shields or something like that, and then all of a sudden your energy is all going to your shields. So what did you think about that voice attack craze there?
Actually, I didn't even know about it until you and Cat Slime were talking about it last week.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that this is software. Is that correct?
It is. What it does is it allows the voice recognition software that's already in your Windows to see. Your voice recognition software will recognize your voice and create keystrokes for WordPad. So you can type into WordPad just by talking, right? And so it's basically dictation or whatever. And the software converts those WordPad keystrokes into game keystrokes for whatever game you're playing, right? And so I mean, that's not what they say, but that's what they're doing, because you're using the voice recognition from Windows, because you have to actually set that up first. So that's pretty much a giveaway. And then whenever it replies to you, like when it says it's going to change the power or whatever, it's using the voice recognition text-to-speech voice that's included in your Windows. So it's using that, and then it just simulates keystrokes, a series of keystrokes, like a macro or whatever. So yeah, and you could use it for other games like MechWarrior Online or whatever. It doesn't matter, because all it is just turning your voice into keystrokes.
Cool. So this is free software?
Currently, it is free. You can get a free trial, which allows you to have allows you to have one profile. Like I made a profile called Star Citizen, but you have a profile, and then you can have up to 20 different commands in that profile. If you buy the software, which is a bank-breaking $8, when you buy it, it allows you to have an unlimited number of profiles with an unlimited number of commands in those profiles. So I just downloaded the free trial, and I've been playing around with it, and it's pretty cool. I mean, when the game opens up and there's 100 more different commands, like landing gear and I don't know, radios and radar and all that other stuff, voice attack might be really cool. But right now it's kind of limited by what the dogfight module can do. The dogfight module can't do a whole lot just yet. So voice attack's limited too. So it's just, if you wanted your ship to do like a weapon diagnostic and check all your equipment and make sure everything's working just right, or set everything back to default, it can do that. It can do all that. And so it's pretty cool. I like it. The problem that I would have with it is that I can't really play with my friends. We can't be on like TeamSpeak and I'll be yelling at you, "Hey, Max Shields," So what I did was I found somebody's profile online. He was sharing it, letting everybody check out his profile. So I downloaded his profile and went through and picked the 20 lines that I wanted to use in my trial version, and I uploaded those 20 lines. So I have 20 commands, and they're not all... he had a lot more in that profile, but I couldn't use them all. But my point was his designation. See, the system doesn't listen to your conversation until you say a specific word. It can listen all the time, but then we'll have a conversation over TeamSpeak or something, and then all of a sudden I'll be ejected because I said eject.
Okay.
like make sure you don't eject your cargo, and then all of a sudden, boom, you get ejected. So he stopped that, and that's cool. He has a prefix, like you have to say something, then everything after that, that sentence is listened to, and then it stops listening at the period. But his word is ship, so you have to say ship eject, and then it'll eject you, or ship max power, something like that. So I don't want all my friends on TeamSpeak all yelling, Amy, max power, or, all that stuff. It'll just be too much conversation. So we'll have to be playing on push to talk or something. We'll have to use a push to talk to, if we're planning on using voice attack. If we're not using voice attack, it's no big deal. But if we're using voice attack or any software similar to that, we're going to have to use push to talk with our buddies. We're going to have to get used to that, and that's something a skill we're going to have to develop, because right now we're all voice activated, or most of us are, I guess. So what do you think about that?
I love it. Sounds great.
Yeah, I do too. I like it. You're gonna have to at least watch some videos about voice attack. Just to kind of get your ideas. But there's a big craze about it. It's like a huge forum threads on RSI's site about voice attack, and I'm just like, wow. So I said, I got to see what they're all talking about. I'm gonna figure this out. But then I downloaded voice attack, and it's like impossible to understand. It's like programming language. Not really. It's like setting up macros, but you got to set up 20 of them, and it's like, what? And then it doesn't understand all the words you say. Like I say what, and it puts on there was, or something like that. So you got to it teaches you to really enunciate your words,
right?
Where you're not going, hey man, what's that? Because then it doesn't understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But Windows
has train it.
Yeah, exactly. Windows. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I was gonna say it reminds me of Dragon Naturally Speaking for games.
What?
There's a company called Nuance came out a long time ago with software that allows you to write. It's writing. But it's software that will also allow you to control the computer. It's even better than what's built into Windows. And it's called Dragon Naturally Speaking. It's been out for a long time. Long time. Right now they're up to version 11. But voice attack sounds just like a Dragon Naturally Speaking for games.
It's a lot like that. It's where you can do a lot of commands just using your voice. Now once like the merchant part opens up, and persistent universe opens up, and all that, you can have a voice command for pretty much everything that you normally would have a keystroke for. If you want cargo to be unloaded, you can, instead of keystroking it or whatever, you could say ship unload cargo, and then it'll do it. It's gonna be pretty awesome. It's gonna make I was talking to, I don't remember who it was, but I was saying, why don't I just sit back and just play the game with my microphone, and then I don't even have to touch the joystick, because I could say ship, turn left, ship, fire weapons, but I'm not gonna do that. Okay, and another thing, the joystick and the mouse. I've mouse and keyboard and joystick and throttle and all the other control schemes. Right now, I think mouse and keyboard is pretty much OP. I mean, that's the way you got to play this game right now. Now I understand they said everything's not in place yet, and they haven't given joysticks the due that they do. But when you have not necessarily a gimbaled weapon, but when you have a turreted weapon that has the capability of turning off your center of travel, okay, like if your main guns are this way and you have the ability to point over there with your mouse while your ship is turning, and the guns are already on the crosshair while your ship's turning and firing, that's just so much more powerful than a joystick. I mean, it's like, it just makes, why do you even have a joystick? Because when you're flying with your joystick, you've got your guns pointing in the center, and that's it. And then when you turn, when you barely get your guns on it, yeah, it locks on and it has a little bit of a play, a little bit of a gimbal. But as soon as the ship flies out of your center, right in the center, then your turret just disengages and goes back to the middle. And it's like now I'm not going to be able to fly with one hand on a joystick and one hand on my mouse. That is a possibility, right? But I don't think I want to do that. Now the head tracker, okay, sure, that's going to help. That's going to help a lot with the IR, the IR tracking or whatever. When you got your setup where you're turning your head. I just don't think there's enough high definition with that. I mean, I'll look to the right and I look to the left, but I can't aim to the left and aim to the right. I mean, I'm going to see the joystick, I'm going to see the mouse pointer or whatever on the left hand side, and I'm going to be doing this, trying to get my mouse, to my what do you call it, my crosshairs to get on the target. It's just not going to be the same. I think mouse is too high precision, and this is a suggestion from me, and I don't know if this is something they would even consider, but make your mouse look less accurate, like have or allow your ship's computer to lock onto a target and have the ship's computer just automatically track with the turret, because right now it relies on you pointing with the mouse, and I don't know, it's just, if you make it less accurate, then the guys that are playing with the joystick they can compete with the mice, or if and that's why everybody's saying it's arcadey, because any flight sim that says the mouse is the best way to fly is not a sim. It's not a sim. It's an arcade game. Yes, I understand the physics and everything are simulated, but that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about it feeling like a game and not like a flight simulator. What do you think about all that? What do you think about what I just said?
I agree. I was looking at the latest post from one of the latest posts from Chris Roberts.
Okay.
And that was at the when we hit the $47 million level.
Yeah.
In his letter from the chairman, and one of the things he was talking about, was, well, actually, I'm trying to think here. Maybe it was, I'm trying to think where I'm getting this from. But one of the things he had talked about before was he didn't want to create another Eve. He didn't want to create another. He wanted to create a game that was very different from any other game. And so, as far as what he's doing, I mean, we're talking about actually completing missions. We're talking about the possibility of our characters dying and just not being resurrected and then continuing from the point that we die, like many other games are. So, I mean, we're talking about a game that's supposed to be very unique, and I think that's something that's really been a game that 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 makes us something that everyone wants to play, or as well as something that's different, very very different than your ordinary run of the mill arcade game first person shooter. Um, I mean, we play first person shooters quite a bit. You look at many of these other games. Yes, they're. What is it? I think you and I have talked about them before, as far as um, the some of the first-person shooters, Xbox, everything from Xbox to PC. Um, I can't remember a lot of them right now. There's a lot out on the market, but I think what's been really setting this apart from everything else is the fact that um, you're gonna you're actually gonna be feeling more satisfied leaving this game every day.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. What about? Okay. Well, that's not the topic of this conversation.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, I was getting ready to drag it on, and we don't need to do that. What we need to
All
do
right.
is we need to move on to our main subject of this video, and this is the part 2 of our ship video, and Parasite is elected to discuss the Hornet and its fighter variants. Now, we're not talking about the Ghost or the Tracker, because those we talked about last week. This week we're going to talk about the military, the civilian, and the Super Hornet. And I have a little slideshow that I'm going to let everybody watch as you're talking, and it's not going to stop. So, but first I'm going to. What am I going to do? I'm going to try to find it on my screen here. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run the Hornet commercial so people can kind of get jazzed before you go into it. And that'll give you time, Beerset, to pull up your information. Do I even have it?
Uh-oh.
I know I do. I just don't know where it is. If I move this shortcut, I'll be able to get to the shortcut without having to move all these other windows. Oh, look at that. I have that shortcut already pulled up.
Oh, cool.
It's like, what the heck's going on here? And here we go.
Legendary fighter pilot Harvey O'Reilly once said, "Give me a fully loaded Hornet, and I'll shake the gates of heaven." Anvil Aerospace's Hornets have faced Vandal, Xi'an, pirates, and criminals.
Okay, Mystery. If we're all set, we all set?
Super.
Anvil Aerospace's Hornets have
I'll have to hang that in my picture.
time and kills in more theaters than any other ship in the history of space combat. Battle tested in the harshest conditions, the Hornet has proven time and again its ability to withstand damage and still be able to dish it out. With all the punishment it handles on a daily basis, don't you think the new Hornet can handle yours?
Honey, I got the ice cream you wanted.
Now the question is, what flavor ice cream was it?
That's a good question, but I don't know the answer to that.
Because it's not showing you.
Okay, so I was going to go ahead and start with what I was looking at first. If anyone out there has been following Jump Point, in the issue, which was 01.03, that was when they were actually talking about the start of the Hornet, when they actually introduced it. In fact, the Hornet was actually, the light fighter was actually what was first used to introduce Star Citizen and the Star Citizen universe. It wasn't the Aurora, it was actually the Hornet. And that was one of the things that they were showing to garner interest from the community. And what they started with was actually the Hornet F7C, which is a light fighter. The length of it is still the same. It's actually the same, or at least almost the same as far as the fighter variants. If you were to look at the fighter variants, which is the F7A, the F7C, and the F7CM, the F7A being the F7A Hornet, which is the military close support, the F7C being the civilian class close support, and the F7M being the space superiority Hornet, you'll find that for the F7A Hornet and the F7C Hornet, you're looking at a length of 22.5 meters in comparison to 24 meters for the Super Hornet. Now, the F7C light fighter was actually 22.7 meters.
So it changed?
It changed. It actually changed from when they first came out with it. The hard points have pretty much been the same, which are the neutron gun up front, the laser Gatlings on the wings, and of course the missiles located under the wings. Now, if you look at the Class 4, though, the Class 4 is actually the canard. When I was looking at when you look at the Class 4 in the ship specs, that's that ball. There's a little that little opening that you see, and for the Super Hornet, you could actually place, they call it a KNWWF CF-117 Badger, which I understand was a gun. It's actually two guns. They can rotate on top of the fighter, the Super Hornet fighter, in comparison to the F7A and F7C, which I actually have nothing. They're just kind of two holes, just kind of sitting there.
Right, because I actually own the C, the civilian version, and there's no turret. It's limited on what guns it has.
Yes. You've got the neutron gun up front, the Badgers, which are on the sides, the Gatling guns, and the Dominator, the 8X Talon Dominator. Now, what I found interesting was that it looks like in the future they're going to have the cargo replacement ball, so you could actually place cargo in there, and the canard's optional.
Yeah, my Hornet has a cargo box that goes right there where the turret would be. I don't know how many spots or slots that is, but yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it actually goes. It should be right in the center of the Hornet.
Yeah, that's where it is.
And if I were to go inside mine, there's no box there. It's
right, because you got the tracker though, right?
Yes, the package is there. The tracking package is there.
Right.
Instead, and the other thing I thought was interesting was that as far as the factory engine is actually it's a Hammer propulsion HM 4.4, which you'll find in the F7A and F7C. However, in the Super Hornet, they call it a It's still a Hammer propulsion engine, but it's called a HMX 4.3.
Okay.
And in addition to that, the other thing was that one of the options they were going to have for additional equipment later, see, because again, yours has that store all big box that you were talking about. The F7A has nothing. I had the F7A, and there's nothing in there when I first got it. But the Super Hornet would be the Tarsus Leaper jump engine.
Yeah, because I do think the Super Hornet has the ability to traverse the jump points. The regular Hornets don't. They will have to be carried by maybe a carrier.
Yes.
Or an Idris or something.
Well, and when you look at the other differences between the Super Hornet is a two-person fighter.
Right.
And we're compared to the F7A and F7C, which are just single seat fighters.
Right. Right.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. What I'm comparing the Super Hornet to is today's F1 when we had the F117.
Right.
Which is yours and my generation. As far as Navy fighters that we were accustomed to, because the back seat was actually the pilot who's working the back seat was actually more almost like a gunner, so to speak. That person's the one that's actually doing the targeting. The one that's in front is actually the one that's doing the piloting.
Right.
So, other than that, the other thing that I thought was interesting was that the only time you'll ever see the Super Hornet offered, or when it was offered, was in the multi-ship packages. You will not find it in a single ship package.
Not anymore. I mean, they used to, but they stopped selling them singly, I guess.
They did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can always pick up the regular Hornets, but that Super Hornet was available in the. I'm trying to think here. I think, and I believe
October,
they're
maybe.
sold out.
Yeah, probably October, I think, because I don't remember when they had the last Super Hornet sold, but yeah, they have some ships that it's get it when they can, and then they take it off the market, you know.
Yes.
So it makes it more collectible that way, or more rare. But I still think you can get one in the game. You just have to buy it or work for it and get it. You know, it's not something that you can pay to get it until the game comes out.
Yep. Well, right now, let's see, because I was just looking over this, and I believe it was in the fleet package. You could still get it in the fleet package, which is $2,700, which you and I can go out and get anytime we want, of course, yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
So, but other than that,
what is going on? Oh, okay, I see.
Uh-oh. But other than that, I mean, when I was actually looking over, it was really cool to be going over the original jump point diagrams. This is the blueprint. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's showing up. Or this blueprint here that's actually, oops, upside down. There we are. Actually showing this, you can see right here, you can actually see that gun, that twin Gatling that the...
Go ahead and zoom that in a little bit. Like, yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, for sure.
You can see it right there.
Yeah.
In that original blueprint. As well as the guns up front here that we were talking about. There's the Gatlings there, and the missiles, of course, would be... let's see here. I believe you can see it here. Right under there. In that area, where the missiles are. So... having the jump point and having the ability to look at it and to study it for me has been really cool. Other than that, that's what I got, Doc.
All right. Okay. Well, I guess it's my turn to shoot on. Well, let me ask you this then. When it comes to the Hornet, like, what do you think that the Hornet does well, like better than any other ship?
what I'm going to be looking forward to, of course, is going to, well, it's versatility. It's a very, very versatile aircraft. It's a very, very versatile spaceship.
Yeah, you can
I
say
have to get
aircraft.
I have to get accustomed to not saying aircraft.
Well,
Spacecraft.
I think it'll fly in the atmosphere. So
It will,
So
yeah.
it's aerospace. Yeah.
Right. But I believe, again, the one thing that I felt was that this is very, very versatile, and for a single seat fighter, I think and capable of it's multi-operational. It's not just multi-operational, but I mean, for example, if you or I, one of the things we'll be able to do in our unit is, since we'll have different pilots using different variants, Hornet variants, that means that we're going to be able to complete a number of different missions. We're talking about, even though we're going to be small, we can take a small unit like ours and make us mission capable.
Right.
And capable of flying any sorties, missions, anything that comes up. Anything we're given. And being successful at it.
We'll have to wait and see about that part.
I got whole armor beefing up on it now.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, let's look at the chat here real quick. What do we got? Tiger Stripes. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. We'll have to figure out what they're going to allow us with the paint schemes on that. But no. Okay. Well, then let's talk about the Freelancer. And that's basic. I had the Freelancer. I don't currently have it. I upgraded that a while back to a Constellation because I wanted it to be bigger. But and then I traded the Constellation in for the Retaliator. But let's go ahead and watch the Freelancer commercial. Starting it over.
A comm comes over the spectrum with a job. All it says is an amount of cargo, a delicate timetable, and a risky route. You know you've got 42 cubic meters to pack full of profit. We're talking pressurized and shock-resistant construction, so whatever you put in here comes out the same way. You got two Arc Duo 400 engines. Their award-winning colloid ion technology gives you maximum fuel efficiency while keeping your sig low. You come across a couple of pirates.
Hey, Lancer, you know the drill.
But with a weapons system featuring trusted names like Bering and Hornet, you aren't too worried.
Commercial vessel, Freelancer class. Red tags look good. Cleared for landing at Area 18.
My question is, what planet is that? Is that Coruscant?
That's a good question. I don't know.
You need a job
Could be.
done right. Because you trust one ship. Miss Freelancer.
Oh, I guess that could be Stanton or something like that. That's completely covered by... Yeah, it's completely covered by offices.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, could be Stanton. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to... Get rid of that. Now, I downloaded a couple of videos from this guy that does an awesome job making, he makes videos. He takes the assets that are in the game, and then he uploads them to his own personal workbench, and and in CryEngine, and then he films it, and he goes in and tweaks it and makes it adjusts the lighting and adjusts the settings and stuff. And he's got his own channel out there. It's called Anything FPS. If you guys are interested in seeing some ships done up really beautifully, that's where a lot of these camouflage schemes come from, a lot of the paint schemes. He even puts them, he moves them and flies them and stuff like that, and gives you the impression of what it would look like. And I've got this video here that is pretty cool. So I'm just going to run through some videos basically. We did the Freelancer commercial. Check this one out. How the wings articulate and the engine articulate. I think that's cool. Whoops. Now these was his early work where he took the ships and put them on like a forest planet. Now just looking at this picture, you can see the number of missiles that this thing carries. This thing carries a F-ton load of missiles. And those turrets on the side, they're not really turrets really. They're kind of like, they are gun platforms. But look at the size of the cannons. And you can have two of them, two on each side. That's pretty awesome. And then there's something under the nose that nobody really knows what it is. But it's probably the position of a tractor beam or something. But yeah, it comes with two. But it will, you could add up to two more. Oh yeah, and then there's like a little turret on the back for anybody that's tailing you, you know, like a little tail gunner. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's enough of those images. Yeah, remember, Anything FPS, he does an awesome job. He made, I don't know, a couple dozen videos, and they all look really good. You should check him out. He's on YouTube. Okay, now, the Freelancer. The Freelancer is originally just like a trucker ship. It's about the same size as a C-130. So if you're familiar with the C-130, been in the military or what have you, you know how big that cargo hold is, and you know all the things that could be put in there. You know, you could have a couple of hundred paratroopers in the back of a C-130. But and there's a picture of it right there, how it compares to what a C-130's cargo hold would look like. But remember, the Freelancer is a mix of manufacturers. It's not just a human manufacturer. It is, well, let me back this up. It's made by human. I hear a voice. I wonder where that's coming from. Okay, but am I hearing myself speak? No, I've got the channel muted. I've got everything muted, so I don't understand why I'm hearing a voice. Okay, very strange, very strange. But here, let me pull up the website for Star Citizen and show you the stats of the Freelancer. Okay, we're going to scroll this over to the Freelancer, wherever you are. I think I passed you. Right there. And it has quite a few different variants. It has the Dur, the Max, the Miss. and these are all Freelancer variants. The Max is like double the size of cargo and engines. I mean, you can see how big the engines are just by looking at this picture. I also have a video that I'll show you about that too. Got a lot of videos, like videos. Okay, so
I like videos too.
Yeah, it's what does it say? You can say 1,000 words with a picture. But let's just talk about the basic Freelancer originally, because that's what I owned, and why I liked it and why I traded it. Okay, now, as you know, if you've been following Star Citizen, you know they've gotten away from the cargo capacity in tons. That's an old... that tons part needs to be erased because it's actually cargo capacity in freight units. A freight unit is a box. It is a footlocker size box that you can carry. It might be bigger. It might be, you know, a big big box, but it can carry 168 of them. In comparison, the Constellation carries 480 of them. So that's how many. It's carrying about 3 times as much as a Freelancer would. But if you look at the Max, it's carrying 280, so it's carrying about twice as much as what the regular Freelancer is. Max crew is 2. Well, I don't know why they say that, because the bridge in a Constellation has 4 seats, you know, and are 2 of them passengers, and the other 2 are just like a pilot co-pilot kind of thing. It shouldn't say max crew. Maybe on a lot of these ships they say they only have like a crew of whatever, but they have like a ton of chairs in the ship specifically for crew positions. So I don't think it should say max crew. I think it should say minimum crew. Like that's what you expect to be able to fly a Freelancer, as a pilot and a co-pilot or something, or an engineer or something like that. I don't know. Now the power plant size is a 5. That's pretty sizable when the other ones are 6s, and there are some 5s running around, but 5 seems pretty big. And power plant, it comes standard with a rating of a 4 power plant, but the 5 is a potential. And then primary thrust, the actual engines are the TR5s, as you saw in the video, and the engine is the Arc Duo 400s. That's the maximum is 5, but it comes with Arc Duo 400s, 2 of those. And then maneuvering thrusters, it has 8 TR2s. So that's pretty standard in these size type ships, is 8 TR2s. It has the MISC Z-Tech. Okay, what they're trying, or She-Tech, because remember it's half Shein. Shein technology is in the Freelancer, which allows it to navigate jump points. It's the largest, my understanding is, it's the largest ship available to players that can navigate an unknown jump point. For when you're exploring, a lot of explorers are going to use the Freelancer because it can do that. It can, if you find a jump point and you want to see what's on the other side, the Freelancer would be able to go through it. My understanding is a Constellation would not be able to go through it, because it does not have the proper type exploratory software or body build. Okay, max shield's 5. That's pretty good, and it is called the Beijing. What is that? GH-146M. But it's a 3-class shield, so you need to upgrade. It looks like there's a little room to upgrade everything, is what it looks like. And then when you come down to the weapons classes, the only thing it has is those Class 3 missiles on the wings. It has 2 racks of 3 marksmen, and it has 2 racks of 3 executioners. So that's quite a bit of missiles. And then you look at, so what is that? That's 6 per side. That's 12 missiles. Yeah, where the Hornet's only carrying 8. So it's carrying a little bit more than that. And then it has the Class 4 turrets, 1 on each side. But it can handle 2 per side. And then the Class 5 mini turret in the back has the 2 bearing, very small FLs, whatever, fixed lasers. I don't know what those are. And then it has the Tarsus Leaper jump engine. And that's specifically to go through those jump points. Now the weight of it is 26,000 kilograms, which is a lot lighter than your Retaliator or Constellation. Look at that. Constellation, 80,000 kilograms. So you are a lot smaller. You're going to be moving a lot faster, a little bit more maneuverable. You know, you'll be able to make those turns where the Constellation won't be able to make those turns. That's my understanding of the Freelancer. Now, what does the Freelancer do really good or better than any other ship is? I think that it, for long-range exploration, I think it's going to be an awesome ship because let me rephrase that. For long-range exploratory trade, I think it's going to be great. Like, you'll be able to go to a new planet, the one you've never been to before, meet the locals, trade with them, get some cargo, maybe sell some cargo, make a buck, and then you can use that jump point to get back and have navigated it. And then now you're going to have sold exotic stuff within known space. I don't think it's that great, because I mean it's cheaper, it's smaller, and it's probably faster. But it's within known space. Major moving companies are going to be the best way to go. Starfarers and Constellations and Misk Sea Hulls or whatever. Those are the big truckers are going to be the big ones in the inside known space. But when you're going out and exploring space, trying to find good marketplaces and stuff like that, I think the Freelancer would be the way to go with that. Let me show you a video about the Max. And again, this is an anything FPS video. Just looks mean. He's got both of his guns on there. See? 2 per side. Looks like he's got 4 engines, 2 per side. So Parasite, while this video is playing and people are getting a chance to take a look at this new cockpit and everything, what do you think about the Freelancer?
I like it. I didn't get one. I wanted to get one, but what I saw of it looked really cool. Does it help to say I was jealous of you when you got it?
Well, I got it, and then I didn't keep it very long. I had it. I loved it. It just didn't feel like something that I wanted. It was like pulling me out of my comfort zone. I mean, I felt like, yes, okay, let's back up. I'm a big old Traveler fan. I played Traveler back in the day. You had a merchant ship, you had a crew, you went to another world, you got into some mischief, you got chased by the authorities or whatever, and you did the whole Millennium Falcon thing, or whatever. And when I saw the Freelancer, that's what I thought of. I thought, okay, this would be a good Millennium Falcon replacement, But then when I realized how cramped and how narrow the interior is, it's just a straight line. Everything is in a straight line from the bridge straight out the back door. There's no rooms to the left or right. There's no up and down. That's what disappointed me. Some people will love that. Some people, it's very convenient, very easy. But I said, let me go to Constellation. At least it's supposed to have a bigger crew, a 4, where this only has a 2. I'm sure that this thing could carry. It has 4 beds. It has 4 chairs in the bridge. So I don't understand why 4 people can't also fly this thing, or be crew in it. But for me, it just, like, the crew would be so cramped. You'd all be together all the time, like in the same closet. Where the Constellation opened that up for me, and then that's why I switched to the Constellation. But then again, I got rid of the Constellation and went with the Retaliator. So I'm fickle. I mean, I don't know what I want.
For me, I've now that I've had a chance to work with the Aurora, I like the Aurora.
Yeah.
I see a lot of potential for it. I definitely enjoy working with the Hornet and with the 300 series ships as well.
Yeah.
So I've got a feeling I'll probably be sticking with those. Although I am looking forward to crewing with you when you get that carrier.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, like that's gonna happen anytime soon. Yeah, but yeah, I understand the unit needs to. We're gonna progress towards getting bigger and bigger ships and more ships because there's two theories. I had a friend, teach me this. There's two theories in naval combat, and that's one of them is huge ship, thick armor, big guns, or a lot of smaller ships faster with smaller guns, right? And it's a comparison of what we call quality over quantity, and what is actually going to be a better ship. Is a bigger, better ship, or is it a bunch of little ships going to be better? And we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see what's a better loadout, what's a better strategy. I think a combination of some really big ones with some little ones, because you can't do things with the big ships that you can do with the little ones, and vice versa. So yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm looking more at the not the Gladiator, but the Javelin Destroyer. The Javelin Destroyer is something that I would shoot for next, and then after that we'll go for a battlecruiser.
Yeah, maybe the Idris.
Idris is too small.
It's going to be too small?
The Idris is too small. Idris is just a little frigate. I'm talking about a destroyer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. From, here, let me pull up a picture real quick of, you might not be able to see it right away, but it's the Javelin. Okay, so it'll take a second for it to come up on YouTube, right, for you to be able to see it. Actually, I should be able to share that with you on Skype, right? There's a way to share pictures.
Oh, yes.
Or something. I don't know. We're new to this, What is it? Is it contacts, call, view, tools, view, share screens?
There's a snapshots gallery, but I don't know if that's it.
How about that?
Oh, yep, I'm seeing it.
Okay.
Looking really cool.
Yeah, and then you go with okay, that's that picture, but then there's that one. That's like a tail view or whatever. And then like there's an interior. That's like inside. Yeah, that's the plan right there. Get a destroyer, cruise around, blow some stuff up. But the problem with the destroyer, and something I'm thinking, is it's not a money maker. It's not something that's going to create revenue unless we have some major merchant assets behind us. Really pushing some funds. We're not going to be able to finance something like this. It'll be nice to have. We'll have it parked at our base or something, and then we'll need it. If we need it, we'll pull it out of the mothballs or something. But it's not something that we're going to be just flying around casually. Not on any specific mission. We can't. We're going to have specific goals. Maybe the convoy will say, we've got 100 ships going from point A to point B, and we'd like you to escort it with the destroyer. Because maybe somebody else's destroyer is raiding all their merchant ships. And then if that's the case, yeah, because I don't know how good of a pirate ship a destroyer would be, and or any of the other larger ships. But maybe the Vandal have some big ships that are destroying some cargo vessels, and they need us, and that's something we could do. I don't know, just throwing it out there. I don't think it's going to be a moneymaker, though. I think it's going to be a money sink. Yeah.
But they look cool.
They do. They look awesome. And how come you're no longer a face?
I'm no longer a face?
Maybe I need to stop sharing with you. Okay. Yeah, you're no longer a face.
I'm no longer a face. Okay. I could bring up one of my...
How about there? Now you are.
Avatars. How about that?
That looks good. Okay, now you're a face.
Or even this one? Yep.
That one's probably a really good one. You should leave that one. I think we've hit it all. I think we've hit everything. We've hit the Starfarer. No, not the Starfarer. We skipped that one. We did the Freelancer and the Hornet fighters. We talked a little bit about the voice attack craze, how I think the Omni Sky laser is overpowered. We talked about just everything in general. So that's pretty cool. Okay, Parasite, that's it for tonight. And I want to thank you for joining me. And I want to thank everybody out there that's been watching this tonight. We do not... We do not have a stream going on Twitch tonight. Through the experimenting, I didn't want to do the Twitch live stream. I don't think we're going to do the Twitch live stream. I think we're who knows. It takes a lot of processing power to do both at the same time. So when I get my improved video card, then we might do that. But right now we're just going to stay on the YouTube because we're able to do that pretty good. And I think I had everything prepared enough. What do you think? Do you think the show went pretty good tonight or no?
I think it went really well.
Well, good. And I noticed our time stopped at about 1:05 or something like that. I've got 1:07 here. And so that's a good time. I mean, we've had hour-and-a-half shows before, and I think we did really good tonight. I think we had a good... Did you have any other topics that you wanted to share or ask or do anything? Maybe get the public involved, because they can put comments on the videos, when they're over with. If somebody was to come in and watch, here, let's do that. Let's go to the chats and see what people are asking. If anybody have any questions. Oh, he did. The Avenger exploded. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There are 4 seats and 4 beds. Yeah, there is. Yeah. And 6 power plant comes with Arculetes. Okay. Well, we're going to continue to do ships. And I thought about this in the middle of the week. I said, we're going to do ships until we get them all knocked out. Well, I don't think that's really going to be the case. I think we're going to do ships for maybe another week or 2, and then we're going to do something different, and then we'll jump back on the ships and continue it on. So it's not going to be non-stop ships until they're knocked out. We're gonna do like ships, something else, more ships, something else, more ships, something else. We're going to do that. Okay. So what do you think the next topic of our show should be? I sent out a list of available topics about 6 months ago when I mentioned that we were thinking about doing the live stream, but I never really pursued or followed that up. So there's all kinds of... I was thinking we could talk about different aliens. We could talk about the different branches. We could talk about... Yeah, like that alien right there. Yeah. They don't have any little green men, but that's okay.
Nope. No. We could talk about... Yeah, we could even talk about food and space. See? Or...
I'm thinking we should talk about alien... What do the people want to have us talk about? I want to see some chats. There's only 4 people watching right now, so...
Yeah.
At the last minute. I'm kind of leaning to... What? Oh. Depends on how
many
big
elephants can you... Yeah, I guess that depends on whether or not the elephants are from Xeon or from Terra.
Or if they're like little miniature elephants. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or how big the black hole is.
That's it. Or how big the... Yep, it could be... See, because it could be a mini black hole.
It could be that system that orbits a black hole.
Oh yes. Yeah. See, or I mean, what if these are elephants from Goss 2 or Ryla 4? I mean, that makes a big difference.
I don't think we should talk about elephants though. But no, I think something we could talk about would be
Well, how about
we could talk about the aliens.
We could, or those different worlds.
Or we could talk about worlds, the map, and like where they're positioned and stuff. But there's so many worlds, it would be hard to, and it's not giving any specific world any justice. These are all good topics that we could use spread out over the course of the next year that before Star Citizen arrives. But I want to switch it up a little bit away from the ships. Maybe go with some aliens. I think we should do aliens.
Okay.
Oh, marine gear. Okay, that's a good choice.
Yeah,
marine gear,
too.
But
yeah, as far as the individual weapons and what they're going to be wearing, and
I don't think we've received enough information on that. That's the problem. I think we've
it's still being developed.
I think the redacted team for doing the first person up in Denver, they're the ones doing it. Have showed us a picture of the assault rifle. They showed us some pictures of some power armor, and that's it.
That's been about it.
Yeah, that's it. So now the aliens, each alien has their own culture and how they interact with the Empire and things like that. I think that's what we can touch on. We can touch on our interaction with them, their interaction with each other, and how it's going to affect gameplay and stuff like that, or how we suspect it'll affect gameplay, because we don't know anything really. And
yeah, for example, the differences between the Von Duel and the Xeon.
Exactly. Yeah, all the Banu and everything, Tavarin and all that good stuff. Yeah, I think that's what we should do. Well, that's what we'll put out. We'll put out number 5 will be aliens, taking a break from ships, and then we'll be back to ships the following week after that. All right, well, thanks for coming out and checking out this video. Check us out on our check us out on our unit website right here in the middle, and if you want to join, we're always recruiting. Thank you, and have a good night.